We are rolling.
We're rolling, but he'll break it in at the right time.
I'll find a good spot to start it.
This is a good spot.
This is a good spot. This is a great
Let's
spot.
get excited even before the coffee.
It's all right, so Jenny just texted me. She says, en route con azúcar.
You know what? She got me right here.
Yeah?
Right there. That's
what she said right there.
Okay.
So,
con azúcar.
I don't know if she spelled that right or anything.
No, it's perfect.
Yeah, so.
You know, there's, what's her face? Celia Cruz. Azúcar!
Who's that?
Celia Cruz. She's like one of the most famous Cuban singers. She was the queen of
I know
salsa.
her. Yeah. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, she's awesome. She passed away a few years ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And her wake, they just opened it up to the public. It was like an 8-hour affair.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it's funny, all the places I traveled all over through Central and South America back in the day, it was always like, oh, do you know Celia Cruz? When people find out I was Cuban.
Like everybody knows her?
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah. It's like...
Like, did they ask you if you know her personally? Or?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
They wanted to know if I knew her personally. But, I mean, she was like...
Did you know her personally?
No.
Okay.
No. But it's like saying, oh, I like basketball. You know Michael Jordan?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that was... hey, I got a question. Does my ball on this side, is it tough? Should I move it to the other side?
Is it annoying you?
No, not really. I don't care.
Ball's kind of smacking you in the face a little bit.
It looks good on camera.
Okay.
But if it's annoying you, then you can move.
Listen, my voice is annoying to me sometimes, so I just
Come
roll.
on, no.
I roll. No, I'm joking.
Stop it. You love your own voice.
Let me tell you, I love my own voice. You should know that. I'd put my headphones on at home with my microphone just to hear my voice. I really do.
Do you really?
Yeah.
What do you say to yourself?
What's up, big sexy?
Let me officially welcome you to the Connected by Water podcast, presented by Joey Cardi, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and soon to be fueled by Papa's Pilar Rum. And we're here with my good buddy, Fly Navarro. And this is our Christmas episode. It is an annual tradition at this point, and will happen every December. So mark your calendars from here to eternity. Fly will be here in December.
And listen, if you got to listen to my voice, it is eternity. Listen, and it's so funny. Ever since this whole COVID thing started, that's when me wearing my headphone and always on
Zoom meetings and stuff.
Well, not just that, but I created a studio at home. It's probably about half the size of this, and I run everything out of there. It first started off in my driveway, and
your driveway.
Well, as we all know, when COVID hit, we need to lock down for 2 weeks.
Right.
All right. So after 10 days, now mind you, this year I was on pace to hit 250,000 frequent flyer miles. I mean, I had projects all over the world, and come March, with a screeching halt, it came to an end, and I had 71,000 miles in 2.5 months. And okay, we'll shut down for 2 weeks. That's what they said, 2 weeks. Well, on day 10, I was starting to go a little stir crazy. So I grabbed my 2 phones, and I'm like, I'm just going to go live on Facebook and start talking to people. And, people have no information. People were scared. People want to go fishing. People want to do stuff. So I was just passing around fishing information. That's all I was doing. Hey, what boat ramps are open? What states we're allowed to fish in? A lot of charter guys were losing charters, so I would let them post up. Because I was doing Facebook Live, I can get underneath the algorithm by letting them post up their websites.
Right.
And so their websites would go up and it'd give them some free marketing. And I was getting 10, 15,000 people on my Facebook Live every day. And it was all started in my driveway. And my neighbors would look at me. It's like, who is he just talking to himself? Because they didn't realize I got my phones here. I got people all over the world. And I'm talking. And I could talk very easily for some days were 2 hours. I just talk by myself. And it's Florida. This was middle of March. We go into April. It's hot. So I'm like, I can't do this outside anymore. I got to set up inside. So we have a old-fashioned Florida room in the house. and I set up 2 folding tables, put up my computer, and I started doing the same thing on the phone. And I'm like, man, there's got to be a better way to do this. So I started, I got my DSLR camera, just like you got here, and I plumbed it into my computer. And then I'm like, well, nobody's allowed to travel, but I got a lot of good fishing friends. We can talk. So I YouTubed myself into learning how to do a podcast, and I boomed people in from Saudi Arabia, from Japan, from all over the country. And as things started to relax and people started going back to work, I started saying, okay, I'm not going to do any more by myself. I'm only going to do them if I got somebody to talk to and something to talk about. So that's what I did, and that's how I started my podcast.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know if you've seen the pictures. I got the blue marlin, I got the alligator heads, and I got a bar behind me, which is really funny because I don't drink.
Right.
So the people that know me, they're like, what's up with the bar? And I'm like, well, it isn't mine. It's my girlfriend. I wasn't going to move it. So I mean, literally, I have this itty bitty area. It's not even 8x8.
Right.
And
well, you just really need to be in a 16:9 ratio when it's all said and done.
That's
right? So, yeah.
And even my table, my girlfriend's like, why don't we get you a nice desk? Like, this is nice.
It's like IKEA's finest right here.
No, I don't even have those. I have 2 uneven tables, and her thing is like, why do you want to keep it like that? I said, have you ever seen the picture of Jeff Bezos beginning Amazon where he just has that one? That one caught me in the eye. Did you see that one? It says Amazon.com on the wall, and he has one of the legs is a 2x4 holding up the table.
Right.
I'm like, if Jeff Bezos started with a piece of shit table, I'm going to start with a piece of shit table, and I'm enjoying it.
Yeah,
I
for
like
sure.
it, and it's great. I got 3 screens.
You know, we're moving this operation, right?
All right, no, I
Did
didn't
I tell you that?
No.
So we're done with this Everglades studio.
Okay.
We're moving out to Pompano.
Okay.
You know, Taha Marine,
Okay.
right? So right there next to 2nd Street Surf Shop, we're moving. We're going to have a studio gallery.
Nice.
And with our operating studio in the back.
That's awesome.
Yep. And then we're going to podcast from the store.
Oh, even better.
Yeah.
Because people can come in and watch it.
Right. So we're going to have, for now, we're going to have a temporary store because we're taking the big unit on the end, but it needs to be built out.
Okay.
So we didn't want to wait. So we're like, we'll just take the smaller unit for now while the other one's being built out. And we can kind of oversee the build out so it doesn't take forever. And yeah, so we're moving.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no,
Congratulations.
we're pretty stoked about it. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna set this table up in the middle, put a bunch of clothes and artwork on it, and the studio is gonna be.
The
is she
sugar's
here?
here.
Come on in.
Asuka.
Asuka. All right, Jenny is here. So Jenny is here.
Watch this, everybody.
And we've been waiting for you.
Yeah, just throw it up on here.
All right.
That's
Hi,
perfect.
Jenny.
Jenny, are you going to enjoy some of the Cuban coffee here in a couple minutes?
course.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
You got this on camera, and go. Oh, maybe not.
Are you plugged in?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Did I pop a breaker?
Do we have no power?
We'll figure it out.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no, I might have.
There's another.
Oh, no. You know what it is I can't see. It's on.
It's on.
All right, it's on.
Yeah, it's on. We're good.
All right.
That's perfect.
There you go.
Thank you.
I'll be back.
Oh, absolutely.
Thank you, Jenny.
Powered by Sugar in the Raw. Thank you.
Right.
You know, this is perfect timing because as we get going, as this thing formulates, you're going to be able to watch us ramp up on camera.
Yeah.
You know,
I might have a heart attack, but it's cool.
whatever.
At least
Hey,
it's
listen,
on record. Everyone knows how we got here.
How old are you?
Really?
Yeah. How old? I'm 47.
I'm trying to remember. I'm 46.
Okay, so
Sometimes I forget. Do you ever find yourself doing that?
All the time.
Like forgetting like how old you actually are?
Absolutely. You know why?
I can't
Because
remember
I
if
even
sometimes I'm
forget.
46, 40, I'm
I've
46.
always rounded up, but now I'm starting to get to the point. I'm just going to tell the truth. You know why? Because I started rounding up the other day. You know, I'm almost 50. I'm like, whoa.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Let's not say that.
Yeah, I don't want to go that far. I don't want to go that far.
So, see, I was born in when were you born in 74?
I'm a 73 model.
So, all right. So, yeah, I'm 46.
Yeah, I'm a 73 model. So we're going to be able to watch us ramp up. But what I was trying to say is all the cool kids are having heart attacks now. So I mean,
Are they really?
Yeah, you haven't really lived life until you've had your first heart attack.
So this is the part of the podcast where I start getting scared when he starts talking like this as he's pouring sugar into a measuring cup. So for those of you...
with a spoon. Wait. You got a lighter?
I do. Not.
Let's cook it up.
Yeah, so for those of you not watching on YouTube and joining us on Spotify or radio.com or wherever.
Now, do you have the show on Spotify and everything like that?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Yep.
we do.
It's on Libsyn, which disperses it to all those different audio platforms.
Yeah, I had Libsyn. It was too difficult for me to use, so I went to Podbean.
And I don't know. That's
his thing.
I don't do any of that.
But now, might I offer you, whether it's a suggestion or not, it doesn't matter.
Sure.
My favorite. So my podcast is on Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, Pandora,
Right.
the whole gambit, Stitcher. But my favorite is Alexa Play.
Really?
Yeah. So when I go to a buddy's house or a friend's house and we're just sitting there talking, I'm like, Alexa, play Fly Navarro's No BS. Next thing you know, you hear, and we're back.
Really?
And everybody's stuck with my voice twice.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
So how much sugar are you put? Or how
I'm
much
only going to put two.
azúcar?
I'm going to go light because I like it a little bitter.
Okay.
It's one
I can
thing
do
to
better.
it's one thing to have a caffeine high, but a caffeine and sugar high,
Right.
It ain't pretty.
Yeah. No, we're good. I'm gonna roll with the pro here. So you know.
And I'm gonna try to limit myself to only one little shot glass. But there's a good chance I might end up with two.
Somebody
So
brought.
we only drink
you
that
can
much?
tell it.
What's that?
We only drink that much.
No, you can have a couple of them.
All
I
right.
mean, like the little Cuban coffee cups is probably
right.
2 or 3 of these. But when you go to, like, let's say you go to the local panaderia, which is the local bakery, they'll give you one of these.
They'll give you a cup, and then you fill that up. Take the shots with that.
So who was it? Was it Steve Doherty that
It was
brought? He
Steve
brought
that
in.
brought
He
you.
brought in one.
Dennis didn't know. You
Steve-
take the little
Yeah,
cup.
I just
and
started.
drink
I
the
just
whole
started
thing.
drinking it like that.
Oh, dude. If
He's
you
like,
drink-
you might want to slow down. I'm like,
you
yeah.
don't- you won't blink for a week.
Halfway through the podcast, I was like,
That's what you're going to
Yeah.
Yeah, this is what you get.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like mainlining caffeine.
So is it? You brought that in for us, really?
No, that's yours. That's Merry
Dude, you're the
Christmas.
best. I have a Christmas present for you too. Oh, see,
See, it was one of those things
we
when you
brought a
asked
Christmas present for you, Fly.
when you asked for Cuban coffee, I have one of these that I travel with all over the world, and it's old and it's dingy and it's used and there's nothing wrong with it.
Isn't it
But
better that way though?
Yeah.
as time? But I wasn't going to give you my good one.
No, I know.
I'm going to listen. Here's the thing.
So you're gonna have to teach me how to use it. Though.
It's really simple. The box is here,
Right.
but there's water in the bottom. Then there's a section with the Cuban coffee, and I didn't want to sit here on camera doing it because I make a mess.
You can make a mess here.
No,
It's
no, no.
fine.
I know.
We drink a lot of rum on the podcast usually, so we make messes all the time.
Yeah, but you should see. It's so funny because when I make my coffee in the morning, it's in the dark, and then in the afternoon or later on when I come back into the kitchen, I'm like, dear God, I'm surprised I got any into the pot.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm, eyes all
I think
closed.
it'll add flavor to the table. You know what I mean? There's got to be a little history starting this thing. Well, here, let me give you the Christmas present. Then.
Okay, go ahead. What do we got? What do we got?
So this is from me to you, right?
Don't make me cry on camera, dude.
And just for all the love and appreciation throughout the years of our friendship. This is
Dude,
for you, Fly.
You're gonna make me cry. Oh, I gotta flip it over.
Yeah, flip it over. What do you think? So he's opening up.
Oh my God, that's from last year.
What do
That's
you think?
awesome.
You like it? You like it?
Oh, I love it.
So you can hang that right over your bed,
I'm gonna put
right,
it
or put it right on your nightstand.
No, I'm gonna put it right in my office where everybody can see it.
I love it.
Everybody
love
can
it.
see it. I love it.
Right.
That's last year this time.
That's last year this time.
I'm so glad I almost wore that shirt. I'm glad I didn't. And
Well, the funny thing is I wore this shirt and it's similar to that shirt. And when I was printing that out this morning, I was like, oh man, I hope he doesn't wear that shirt again.
oh, that's so funny. And last year I had the beard. It's so funny. I grow the beard every year, but I didn't because this year I didn't go to Canada.
Right.
So
I was supposed to go to Canada with Andy.
Oh, and again, because it was closed.
Yeah.
Ooh, can you smell it?
I can smell it.
Great.
Wow. Woo. That cooked fast. Cooked. Brewed. Listen, I grill. That's it. That's literally it. And microwave.
Right. I'm going to move
and microwave my tea.
That's, you know what? That's sacrilegious.
I know.
So now I'm going to sit here and spin this around.
Oh, that sounds good. You think microwaving your tea is strange? You think that's
Microwaving?
strange? You think that's strange, John?
Might be strange.
Might be strange.
Yeah, because it's at that point you're not brewing it; you're just making it hot.
You know what else is strange? Our strange questions we have from the people that wrote in.
People wrote in questions to ask me, huh?
People wrote. Well, this is our Papa's Pilar strange question segment.
Oh, I love it, Papa's
Yeah.
Pilar, and I love Steve Groth. He's such a
Yes.
cool dude,
Right? And they're all cool dudes over there.
Steve and his son are the only ones I really know.
And Mike Myatt.
Oh, that's right, Mike
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
That's right, because I remember Mike from IGFA.
From the IGFA. Yeah, he's a part of the Papa's Pilar family now.
Yeah.
As am I.
Really, really cool dudes.
They're coming on Jan 1 as one of our presenting sponsors, along with Jody Carty, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, starting January 1. But we're starting now because we love them so much. Anyway, so we have our questions that people wrote in for you. We do this every episode now.
I saw you doing it for whoever you had on the other day, but I did not see that you put up questions for me. So
I did. You were driving your car, so you probably didn't see. So
I
did it this morning. Yeah, I did a little late, but we got good questions.
No, I love
Yeah.
it.
So yeah, people will write in. We'll answer the questions, and then you pick a winner, and they get a shirt.
Oh, even better.
Yeah. So there is some value to playing this game.
I love
somebody.
I love games.
So, while you're brewing up your situation there, so what are you're mixing that up?
Yeah, I could put a little bit more sugar and make it. What I'm trying to do is make foam.
Okay.
So that when you see Cuban coffee, but usually you're supposed to use white sugar, but it's not a big deal.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Here's the thing I'm going to tell you.
My wife is real into the whole gluten-free and organic thing, and that's why she got that.
No, and I'm cool with it. I had plans to just stop at like a local McDonald's or whatever and get some sugar on the way down. I don't have sugar at the house.
There's Wendy's right next door.
Well, they're closed at this time of the morning.
Are they?
They were. But here's the other thing. As I was driving, like normal, I'm on the phone. I got stuff to do. So I actually drove all the way to 595.
Stop it.
I passed it completely.
I was wondering because I'm like, man, you know what? It kind of worked in my favor that you were a little late because there was a couple things I was a little late and I needed to prep a couple things here. But I was wondering, I'm like, I was kind of expecting Fly to be here at like 8:45 because you're usually early.
I wanted to be here at 8:30 because I hate when I'm in a rush for anything.
Yeah.
But I have an important meeting at 12:30 and I got to get back home for it. And I contemplated, because originally we were going to start at 10, I contemplated on doing the meeting on my phone in the car. And I'm like, no, this is pretty important. I better get back home in my studio. And so that's why I wanted it earlier. And I left my house at 7:30. And I'm just driving.
Yeah.
And it's a 15-minute drive.
Right.
Which is not a big deal. And then when I hit 595, I look at my map and I'm like, did I pass it? And I'm like,
you did.
son of a... And I passed it. So whatever it is.
So, well, in the future, this won't be a problem because then all you got to do is head down 95, hit Atlantic, and head as east as you can go. We'll be right there on the beach.
Better.
That's where we're going to be from the future now till eternity. So our first question, because we are in the Papa's Pilar Strange Question segment, comes from our good friend, Captain Vinny LaSorsa.
Oh, I love Vinny.
Right? So for those of you who don't know, Captain Vinny LaSorsa is the famed captain of the Last Mango. And he wants to know, what are your strangest pre-tournament rituals, and do you have any good luck boat music?
So here's the funny thing, because that's kind of like a double-edged question, meaning pre-tournament me fishing him or pre-tournament me putting him on? Because
Give me both. I mean, where do you got to go except for 12:30?
Yeah. I really, here's the funny thing. I'm a firm believer. When I first started in the industry, I saw people that would fish differently for tournaments. It's like, oh, there's a tournament coming. We got to do this. We got to do this. We got to do that. And then once I started once I got on the reel tight, and I realized every day was a tournament. Mm-hmm. So the only difference that a tournament day was, they were easier.
Right.
They were shorter because we would normally leave the dock before dawn and we'd fish till dark. So, a tournament is from 8 to 4. So we're only fishing a quarter of a day. But we never changed anything. And I always thought it was very stupid to change just for a tournament. You should be fishing a tournament every single day. And that's, to this day, I still feel that way. I don't, I'm competing against, except now I just compete against myself. Mm-hmm. I really don't fish that many tournaments.
No, yeah, now you're on the other side of the scene.
Well, it's not just
for the most part.
No,
right?
I would say 50-50. Like the last 2 weekends, I fished 2 tournaments. Okay. I fished the Dust 'Em Off, then I fished the Hopetown United. Next month, January, that's mine.
Is that you or me?
Yeah, no, and I really should put it on the ground because that thing will buzz all day long. And I didn't even bring the second phone. I left that out in the car.
You have 2 phones?
Yeah.
I hate the phone. This is the difference between you and me, right? Like, I mean, I would rather just be creating all day and whatever. But the reason I have the podcast, like the main reason I have the podcast, is to force myself to stop my day and talk to my friends and just hang out. You know what I mean? And have like this time to like, all right, we're hanging out, we're talking, blah, blah. But I don't know with the phone, and like, I can't. I like talking to people in person.
I love talking to people in person. One of the hardest things that COVID brought to me was when somebody has an idea.
Right.
I said, hold on a second. When are you available? Well, I can talk right now. No. Let me jump on a plane and I'll fly there. What? Mm-hmm. I'm like, if we're going to discuss something, I want to do it face to face.
Right.
And I don't care if that face to face is Saudi Arabia or Japan or.
It's the same way. I would rather. That's why I never did the whole Zoom thing with the. I know you did very well at it, but I probably should have.
I did it.
We talked about doing it, but I just.
I love this better. But sometimes, like some of the people I reach out to, they've got stuff going on, and because a lot of my stuff is international. I had to do one. I did a podcast one morning. It was a Saturday at 6:30 or 7. My girlfriend was killing me because and we're back. But I was interviewing somebody from Okinawa, Japan, and I can't fly, man.
Yeah, no, we've thought about it. We've discussed it, and I'm just like, you know what? I mean, and we've sacrificed a lot of good guests that said they wanted to come on the show just because I'm like, we don't have that platform set up right now, But
if you need help, let me know.
Yeah,
I have all the software.
All right, here we go. We're doing this.
We're doing this. Right. But I will tell you.
So the Good Luck Boat music.
Not
really. What's the name? Cecilia, whatever Cruz.
I love some Spanish music, but here's the thing: as much as I do like some music on the boat, and I dance a lot. When I'm in a tournament, I like to talk to people. I like to hear. Well, there's a fish. I hate yelling over music. Hey,
right. Oh, right. Oh, yeah. There you go, John.
This is yours.
Here, put it here. I'll grab it, or else I'll spill.
All right.
Can you get it?
Yeah.
All right. So what do you call this specifically?
Coffee. Stupid question gets stupid answer.
You got me.
We call it, Americans would call this espresso. We just call it coffee.
All right.
Café
coffee.
Or café cubano. Cuban coffee.
Café cubano. So, cheers.
Salute.
Feliz Navidad.
Salute y fuerza al cañute. You know what? I do have to admit one thing. I'm very jealous because you have a producer.
Oh, that's good.
Hold on, I haven't tasted it yet.
It is good.
C'est magnifique.
Just when you finish it, you'll feel the caffeine starting to go through your.
That is.
It hits your soul.
It does. It hits your soul.
After this,
that is not strange.
You'll start jumping like a jackrabbit. You know, one kind of music I do. I love dance music. I dance a lot when I'm fishing.
Yeah,
I love.
You video this?
Yes, I do.
I can give it to John. He'll put it on our YouTube edit.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, I posted one the other day from. It was 4 Non-Blondes I was singing. We were doing 34 knots. Hey, yeah. I'll sing and dance all day long.
I love it.
Yeah,
It's good.
fishing is supposed to be fun.
That's the thing.
Fishing is supposed to
We
be
try to
fun.
talk about that on the show all the time. I'm like, don't be a dick.
It's
Seriously.
So my book that just came out, one of the things that my ghostwriter picked up on really quickly is the fact that I always repeatedly say there's a difference between fishing and catching.
Mm-hmm.
Catching is reeling in a fish. Fishing is what you do with your friends in between the bites. Like this to me, even now in my today world, this is fishing.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're talking about fishing, we're trying to get people involved to know about what we do.
Yep.
That's fishing.
Well, that's where the whole term "connected by water" comes from.
Exactly.
Is that space in between it all?
Exactly. It's the space in between, and that's what I'm very important, at least to me.
Mm-hmm.
I've been very fortunate, and I don't want this to sound arrogant at all. And if I offend anybody, that's a you problem. I've been very fortunate. I've caught a lot of fish, and I've been a part of catching a lot of fish. And what I try to do in my everyday world, at my everyday life, is introduce that to new people. Mm-hmm. We've added almost 12 million new fishermen since COVID started. We're up to about 60 million, just over 60 million. And every day I wake up, my goal is introduce fishing to at least one new person. Mm-hmm. And that's why I'm always doing something different. All the technologies that we have, all the different things I do is trying to introduce people to the sport. And then after that, they can meander and find what they like in the sport.
There's a million different directions to go at that point.
Absolutely.
There really are. It's such a broad palette
Huge.
of a topic or industry or whatever you want to call it. It really, you can go a million different ways.
Exactly.
That's why I always kind of laugh when people make fun of because there's these subcultures and subgenres within it all. And then people want to make fun of a certain subculture, just because it's not their subculture. It's kind of laugh. I'm like, well, that's their thing, man. That's their thing.
So I think I was telling you the month of January. Right now, I have on schedule 4 tournaments: 2 in Palm Beach, 1 in Ecuador, and 1 in Iowa. I have an ice fishing.
Tell me of Iowa. Ice fishing.
So, my
I've been dying to do that my whole life.
I mean, I've never done it. And
can you take me?
You want to meet me in Iowa? You're welcome to.
I do. Absolutely.
I have to. So my book is about the top 60 tournaments in the Americas. Mm-hmm. So we got 20 offshore, which was easy because
that's this new book. You just finished it, right?
Yeah, we just finished it. We just mailed it out to everybody on Monday, and I'm just watching social media as people are posting. That's the one thing I asked everyone.
Where can I buy one?
Bestcatch2020.com.
Okay, bestcatch2020.com. Buy the book.
And I'm watching it pop up. Like this morning, my business partner in Saudi Arabia just posted that he got his.
Oh, cool.
In Saudi Arabia.
Nice.
And
so tell me about the book.
So the book is, again, because of COVID, I couldn't travel. I was lucky enough.
You drank that whole thing already?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I don't want.
You're slacking.
I thought this was a sipping deal.
Yeah, you can sip it all you want.
If you want, you can sip it.
You can sip it.
All right.
I'm going for number 2. You want another one?
Yeah.
Damn
Oh,
straight.
wow.
I'm a
All
coffee
right.
connoisseur,
I'm
too.
soft.
You know who I got hooked on this was Wild Bill from Deadliest Catch. I fished with him in Hawaii, and he was like, "Oh my God, I need one of those." I go, "Give me an address, I'll send it to you."
I want to get him on the show.
He's a cool dude.
It's right here.
You know who I got on mine was Dave Marciano. He was great. He was really, really nice.
Nice.
Just way laid back.
Yeah. I know Bill would be tough to nail down to get him in the studio, but
in the
kind of all
studio
over
maybe,
yeah.
but you could probably. You know what? He's got the great relationship with Papa's Pilar anyway.
Well, I was going to say both of us are part of the Papa's Pilar family and the Olokai family.
Yeah.
So maybe it's possible. We'll see. Yeah. Oh, is she here?
Yeah, Jenny's here.
Jenny wants her coffee.
That's what we're trying to do.
So Jenny's back.
Now,
The
Jenny,
bringer of sugar.
Feel free to have more.
Right, she corrected me. I'm being corrected like all day long here. Don't spill it. Don't spill it. You good? There's more if you want to come back.
Or shoot that one really quick and we'll give you another one.
Oh, man.
Boom, look at that.
My
I'm
God.
glad to see that you are part of the Cool Guys Club.
Everyone's making me look like a fool.
Cool guys club.
Yeah, because
Dennis is still working on his first.
Well, I'm trying to remember my last heart attack, and it wasn't too fun.
Wait a second. You told me you weren't part of the Cool Guys Club.
I'm so not cool.
So anyway, the book is the top.
Thanks, Jenny.
There's over 50,000 tournaments in the United States alone. And I just wanted to do a cross-section of fishing. And we've got walleye tournaments, catfish tournaments, bow fishing tournaments, carp tournaments, crappie tournaments. We have a sturgeon tournament in there, calico bass out of California, yellowtail, blue marlin, wahoo. But we got them from, salmon tournament, halibut tournament. I got the Jacksonville Flounder Pounder.
I've heard of that one.
Oh my gosh.
Heard of that, yeah.
Yeah. So,
The Iowa ice fishing, though. I mean,
so that they have a tournament the week before in Bozeman, Montana, and then they have another one the week after in Iowa. And the guy Jack Baker, who's the tournament director, he's in the book. His whole series is in the book. And he invited me to Bozeman, and I said, it's funny, I'm going to be in South Dakota that week. He goes, come to Bozeman. And I look at the dates, and I can't because I'm finishing up the Silver Sailfish Derby. But then I have an open weekend after my bison hunt. And one of the guys that I'm hunting with is from Rapid City, Iowa. So I'm like, I'll just drive back with you. You drop me off at this tournament, and I'll fish it.
if there are any possibilities of openings for both the bison hunt and the Iowa ice
Let you
fishing
know.
thing, yeah, let me know.
Okay.
Hook a brother up. Just a reminder, we are still within our strange questions segment. So,
keep it coming.
So this is how it goes with Fly. We go fly off on a tangent.
Yeah, that's just me. Let's
And
go back.
every strange question segment, we have a jumbo question. So Justin Layton asks his strange question, and he is not eligible to win the shirt. So just so you know, and make that clear at the beginning of every question. So is how often do people ask you if your fly is down?
Zero.
That's all right. That's the acceptable answer for that one. We're moving right along. All right. So we're not even going to elaborate on that one. So, all right. My sister
Oh my God. I wanted to text her beforehand.
asks a question. And I'm going to try not to bastardize this because it is en español. So.
Oh, can I translate it after?
Yes. ¿Cuál es tu plato
Más favorito?
navideño favorito?
Arroz, frijoles negros y lechón asado.
There you go.
Which is black beans, rice, and roast pork.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
And for everybody that's listening, she asked me, what is my favorite Christmas dinner plate? And so growing up, first of all, for people that don't know, Cubans, we celebrate Noche Buena, which is Christmas Eve. And so we roast the whole pig and black beans and rice. So yes, and I love your sister. Your sister she's
awesome, isn't she?
So cool,
right? She's the best.
She is.
Yeah,
she is.
You know, she's awesome, and she wanted to make sure that that you know that she's bilingual.
No,
so
and well, she lives in the 305.
She does. If she is the 305.
If you do
hanging
not
out with Pitbull all the time.
Yeah, if you don't speak Spanish in the 305, you're down by 70%.
Right. She runs that town. It's all good.
That's perfect.
Yeah. She's under 5 feet and she runs the town.
Your sister's so awesome.
Yeah, she is. So, all right. Next question comes from my wife, right? And she wants to know, when are you going to take my husband fishing to some far-off exotic destination for a couple of weeks?
You know, it is so funny because usually the wives are just the opposite. They are, do not invite my husband on that trip, or 3 days is enough.
Right. So guilty confession? I wrote that question.
You wrote that question. Okay. So, listen, if you want, I'm putting together a tournament right now. This is a cheap plug. I'm putting on a tournament at Casa Vieja Lodge, and we're calling it the Ballers versus Bosses. It's a bunch of professional players, basketball, football, baseball, along with a bunch of CEOs from all over the country.
Oh, nice.
And that's in that's mine.
That's you?
I told you.
It's all good.
It never
Shall we
shuts
roll?
up.
So, you need your artwork for that tournament? Maybe not.
No, I don't need that for that one, but I do need artwork for the one that I put you.
Yeah, I've been trying to connect with that.
With
and then,
Vilma?
Yeah, well, we got a deadline on there at this point right now.
Do you have a deadline?
Well, we have a deadline. I don't know. We'll figure that out after the show, but we got to get that back on track because.
Yeah, well, it's, there's a lot. We're living in crazy times, man.
Yeah, I know. Well, the funny thing is we set up a call, and when the call got set up, we didn't realize, or I guess she didn't realize we were in a different time zone. And we had another meeting set for the actual time that she intended for the.
So we'll do it again.
So I'm not as experienced with the time zone.
And I love Vilma. That's one of my favorite tournaments.
No, she was super nice when we spoke to her.
Last year so they put on a softball tournament or a softball game right before the fishing tournament, and they asked me to go down there to be the announcer. Oh yes,
I'm ready for round 2 there.
Yeah, I had round 2, but I don't see round 3 coming.
No?
Nah, I just...
All right. See, now I'm like awake.
Yeah, oh, no. You haven't. Just wait. Give yourself 30 minutes.
Okay.
It hasn't kicked in yet.
Yeah,
maybe I will.
No. Drink it. Seriously. Just
you got to catch up.
Yeah.
Catch up.
Yeah, he's trying to...
You know what? It's like a bunch of drinking buddies.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Have a shot. Let's play coffee bong.
God. We can mix it with capfuls of Pilar here.
Oh my God.
Right.
Yeah, it's a fun tournament. I'd like to see you come down. We have a lot of fun.
The Casa Vieja?
The Casa de Campo one.
Casa de Campo, yeah.
Yeah, the Casa Vieja is a good. Actually, get you down there for a week. Come on down for Casa de Campo. That would be also a lot of fun.
I'll go anywhere.
Yeah, listen, you're welcome to join me anywhere you want.
Right.
I have a new tournament. Well, it all depends if we open up. I just signed paperwork to put on the first release Blue Marlin tournament in Okinawa, Japan.
Really?
Yeah, and it's funny because, I'm not a very demanding person when I put on a tournament, you know. But this one, just like my one in Saudi Arabia, I need a translator.
Yeah.
I need a translator. That's the only thing I asked for.
I can't help you there, but
Yeah. No, but that's part of my negotiation process.
Gotcha. All right.
Number 1, translator. Number 2, then I don't even worry about negotiating money until I can negotiate a translator.
Yeah, that's a good. No, that's yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't make any sense. Especially with the money thing, you could get lost in the sauce there and be like, "Oh, why did I do this for $25?"
Yeah, and truth be told, I don't even do any of it for the money. Right. And by no means am I like independently wealthy or no. I don't live paycheck to paycheck, but I just got rid of my 15-year-old car for a 7-year-old car or truck. But I do it because I like to promote fishing.
Right.
And I like to promote fishing in new places.
Well, I mean, I think just being in this business alone, I mean, you got to have your first inclination needs to be, this is because I'm in this business or I'm in this working within this space because it's my passion.
Exactly.
Right? I mean, it has to be the first prerequisite, because if that's not the case, then get the hell out now.
Exactly.
Because you're going to be filled with heartache.
And it's funny because I know some people that they're driven by money. And, I want this job because they're going to pay me X amount. But then I see them and they're miserable.
Yeah. It happens all the time.
And I go out and do things, and I had a deal to do something, and I had gotten partnered up. I was forced to partner up with somebody. And after like 3 days, I was miserable. And I didn't sign anything yet. I was in the process of that. And my girlfriend said, "You seem miserable." I said, "This guy's a pain in the ass." And she said, if, she knew the amount that I was getting offered. She says, "If you weren't getting offered that amount of money, what would you do?" Am I allowed to curse?
Yes.
Yep.
I said, well, I'd tell him to go fuck himself. And she goes, there's your answer.
Right.
So very polite. I didn't tell him to go fuck himself, but I just very politely said, listen, thank you very much. This is a great opportunity, and I'm going to have to turn it down. And I ended up coming back around. Somebody else came in on that deal, and I ended up working with them, and substantially a lot less. But I was happier than a clam. I really was. I loved it. And that's my biggest thing. I'm always driven by how am I going to have the most fun?
Yeah.
If I'm going to have fun, money will fall into place. I'm lucky. I don't have kids. I don't have a wife. It's, I don't have like a $2,500 a month mortgage payment or a $6,000 a month mortgage payment. Like I said, I just got rid of my 14-year-old truck. I had 233,000 miles on it. Jeez. I had no truck payment. My house payment is $600. I've lived in the same place. So if I'm not going to have fun, I'm not going to do it.
It's just therapeutic for me because it really is. Sometimes you catch yourself like with the disguises of success and whatever like that, and you kind of really think that what's important and what you think is important, what's really important, right? And even in the beginning of December is always a very stressful month here at the studio. It shouldn't be, but it is because we're trying to meet deadlines for people who need things that they want to give people things as gifts and everything like that. So I try to make everyone happy as much as I can. You know what I mean? So it becomes like I got a lot of December deadlines and stuff like that. That's why yesterday I felt bad even asking you with some of those things I was asking you, just because it's like I have empathy for that situation, you know what I mean? So it's like, but if I didn't really need it, I wouldn't have asked, you know what I mean? But this kind of really helps me gain that perspective of what's really the point of all this, like that 30,000 foot view, and just,
and that's really, you got to look at it like that, because here's the thing, we're all gonna die. I mean, sorry if I broke the news to you. We're going to die.
Damn it.
It could be today.
I'm going to die in about 30 minutes, apparently, because I'm starting to feel this kick in.
No, have the second one. It's really good, dude.
Yeah,
it'll bring you back down.
Yeah.
The second one.
Bring you back down.
Yeah.
Speaking of bringing us back down, we got their last question for the Papa's Pilar Strange Questions segment. Comes from our good buddy, Captain Skip Dana.
Oh, I love Skip.
As do we.
He's a
Absolutely.
great dude.
Skip's a regular on the show. He comes in for our tournament talk episode every single time. He's just an all-around good friend and fellow Dolphin fan.
Sorry.
I know. You like the Cowboys, right?
Yeah, you remember,
I remember that. Yeah, sorry. I should be saying sorry to you.
I haven't watched a single game all year.
No. Are you boycotting? Kind of.
I don't know how your rules are on your podcast. My podcast, I don't talk about politics.
We don't really.
Yeah,
So here's the thing. All right. During the summer, we kind of touched on some politics for a little bit, right?
Yeah.
And then I had George Poveromo on the show, and he comes on the show all the time. And I had him on the show, and I didn't really mean to ask him a political question, just like I didn't really mean to ask you one either. Just now, you know what I mean? We tried to stay away. But he said, Dennis, he goes, I really don't talk politics in public like that, and he kind of laid out why, and I understood it,
and that's why I do it. I don't talk about it.
So we try not to do that on the show. Maybe if you want to say one or two things, but we don't. This is not going to. I don't want this to be a branch in the show.
No, and I'm going to tell you. Here's my thing. I don't give a shit who you vote for. I don't either. I don't care. This is the only thing I care. Can I get you fishing? That's all I care about, and that's why I don't talk. Am I political? Absolutely, because there's so many of my things that I do that have far-reaching effects all over the world.
Right. We do talk about clean water here and here.
No, and that's fine.
Yeah, we do definitely talk about that.
And I had Benny Blanco on my podcast.
And the shark thing.
That's
we do openly discuss the shark. We have for months now.
And here's the thing. So a lot of the times on the Facebook page, I don't comment mainly because I am the guy that connects them with HMS. I'm on the board. So I'm not trying to be one side or the other. I have my feeling on it, but I try to be the conduit for them to get to the HMS board, because I'm on the board.
Right.
In Washington.
So you can't really discuss it.
It's not that I can or can't. I try to be.
I'm not trying to get you to, by the way.
Yeah, no. I didn't. I just tried to be. Listen, let me be the conduit where you guys can talk, as opposed to being the voice, if that makes sense. Because if I'm the voice, it shuts me down to a lot of the people that are on the panel with me, and I don't. That's not my goal. My goal is to allow people to talk through me, and it's funny because I've been on that board 5 years, going on 6, and I just got nominated to go on ICAT, which is the international board. And I like to listen. We all have our feelings, and I respect everybody's feelings. And the one thing I hate is when people try to push their feelings onto me.
Right. Yeah. See, I don't try to do that,
and I don't.
I never. I
don't want to do that. So the clean water thing. I believe in the clean water thing,
right? But
I'm very careful on how I do it, because people like to lay blame, and there's not one person to blame.
Right. See, we try to discover solutions on this show. We don't try to point fingers. And I'm not a shaming kind of guy. I never have been. I never will be. I'm not going to say that politician said that politician said. When a politician does a good thing, I'll exploit it. I'll say, listen, look, these are what, I'll try to promote it, or I'll try to say, hey, did you see this new law that passed? Is that going to be a positive thing, or is that maybe going to be a negative thing? I don't know. Yeah. Maybe we might talk about that. But we're not a finger pointer.
Yeah, I don't.
We're not about gotcha questions on this show.
Yeah,
I hate that.
And my whole thing is, like you said, the blame game. It's become very popular. It's become very popular on social media. I was describing this to somebody yesterday. It used to be a time, number one, you didn't talk about politics. And the people who did talk about politics was maybe 5%. 95% of the people kept quiet. Now, because of social media, when somebody is shipwrecked 2323, they got a microphone and they think they know it all. Because now there's no consequences. Where back in the day, you try to say some of those things and you get punched in the mouth.
All the keyboard warriors are out, and everyone thinks they're big and bad and tough. And it's like, I check out some of these guys' profile pictures. I'm like, dude, you are.
It's a cartoon.
Really?
And my whole thing is, I don't mind being a voice, but I want to be a voice for things that are positive in our industry and not blaming. Like I said, I don't care who you vote for. I really don't. My whole thing is, if I take you on a boat with me, are you going to be a nice guy or girl? I want you to be nice. And if you're nice to your fellow fishermen, I don't care. I really don't. It doesn't bother me. That's the grand scheme of things.
I have a theory, and it's not really a theory. I think this is the absolute truth. Like, the whole Democratic Republican system works. Each side keep each other in check. Now, so this is a little out of hand now. Yeah, it's a little out of hand. But there's balance in this.
Yeah, but
because if it goes one way or the other way too extreme, then it's not a good thing.
Yeah, but it's out of hand because, to be honest with you, I think it's out of hand because of technology.
1,000%. That's the biggest. That's the biggest thing to blame.
Yeah, it's technology.
There's no doubt about it.
Have you seen the movie Social Dilemma?
I did. Solid.
Solid. Me and my girlfriend,
right down to the people that they brought in for their interviews. That's reputation right there.
Me and my girlfriend, we have different views, and I say that very generically, just so we're not throwing anybody under the bus here. So we tried the trick, and we opened up her Google and my Google, and typed in the same words, and we got different answers. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And
they tell you what you want to hear.
Yeah, exactly. And I get it because I play in the social media world. And again, that was one of the biggest reasons why I started my podcast, because I was sick and tired of seeing people argue. And at the beginning of COVID, nobody knew what was going on. Nobody.
Right.
Even to this day, people are blaming. And it's like,
shit, dude. In the beginning of COVID, I was washing my groceries. You know what I mean? I was like, does this have COVID on it?
You know what I mean? This is
for like the first week. I was like, nobody knew what was going on. You're getting all these bad stories from the media. And
you know what that is? No, don't even look at the label. It's not even the label. It's just a carrying device.
I don't know. I mean, is it hand sanitizer?
It's just alcohol.
Really?
Yeah. Not that kind of alcohol.
It's not Polar, Dennis.
Yeah.
It's just
Papa's Polar spray.
So my girlfriend's a doctor. She's an equine vet. So we have hundreds of gallons of alcohol at the house. So I walk around with little bottles everywhere, and I wash my hands, and it is what it is. You know,
right?
That's what we've gotten to. But anyway, let's go to another question.
Let's go to the question. Let's not go to COVID. We try not to talk about COVID on the show either because
that's good.
it's such a saturated topic, so we're not going to go there. So Captain Skip Dana asks, it's a double-parted question. I got the rest on my phone here. Who's the most dead sexy guy you've ever done a sailfish seminar with? So yeah, he came in strong on that one. I saved that one for last. Did you notice?
Oh my God. I think, it's funny you say that because I think him and I have done either 2 or 3 seminars together. And I love it because here I am giving a seminar and I'm learning. I love fishing with new people. And, and it's so funny because I get invited to fish with a lot of people. And like I said before, I've been very fortunate and I've caught a lot of fish. And I get on boats and people are like, hey, man, whatever you want to do, just do it. And it's like, no.
Do your thing.
You guys do your thing. I want to learn. And I'll tell you what, and I'm going to say something where I don't believe in it, but you hear it quite often. These damn millennials. You know what? There's some pretty damn cool millennials out there that are some great damn fishermen. And I'm sure when I was 23, I was getting made fun of for a lot of stuff.
I think this space is a little different, though. The fishing space is this millennials fishing space is a little bit different than most millennial spaces. I really believe that. I think that we're a little bit more grounded in this area in that topic. It could be.
I hear.
I understand everyone's got there's tangents to all this.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm part of a couple of text message groups with people my age, our age, and I'm like, you guys are a bunch of grumpy old men.
Yeah, I'm on one right now with a shark crew. That's
Are you? Wait a second. Are you and I on the same shark?
Maybe.
We might be on the same text message group.
No, I mean I got your numbers on my phone. I would have noticed if you were there. No.
Okay. No, I'm on one. They're not too bad, but it's like, hey, listen, these kids are.
Unless the phone your extra phone.
No, it's not my extra phone. It's not my extra phone. Not many people have.
Phones. It's Fly. It's got phones.
Well, here's the thing. I was just talking with somebody this morning. I might have to keep that number, but I might have to not make that my primary anymore because it's on so many social media sites and tournament sites and this and that. I get people, hey man, are you going live today? And it's not a problem, but it can be because I got a lot of stuff going on that I just don't. I hate to be rude. And I try to give everybody as much time as I possibly can, but at some point I have to draw. So
that's what I was getting at earlier with talking to people all the time, and it's hard because I have to spend time in front of the canvas, in front of the canvas.
Careful, you're out of control, bro.
I'm saying it's
shaking.
Here
too
we go.
much.
Yeah, there we go.
Take another shot.
So I'm saying I have to spend time in front of the canvas, in front of the computer, designing all the time. It's like I can't be talking to people on the phone all day long. Just that's all I do. You know what I mean? I am because I'm CEO of this company, but it's just like they got to find that balance. And every now and then I just got to cut it off and not talk to anybody. Well, else I'm never going to get any work done.
So for me, the hardest part I've had is learning how to delegate. And since COVID started, with different people, I've actually started 4 brand new businesses. And I got to talk to those people to make sure what we're doing is what we want to do. And then I got to step back and do what I do. Somebody taught me a long time ago, the president of a company has to go out and president. You're not supposed to do the day-to-day work of it.
Well, that's what I'm talking about, though, being an art studio and being the artist.
Yeah.
It's a catch-22.
You're a catch-22.
My partner calls me the octopus. It's like, and it's true because it's like everything all the time.
At some point, you gotta just do your thing.
That's what I mean. That's something I got. That's why it's like. That's why I hate the phone. It's like people are always like nonstop all day long. It's like I can't. I love you, but I can't. You know what I mean? It's tough. So anyway, listen. There's the second part to this question.
All right, Skip Dana,
and this is the last one. This is the last strange thing.
Yeah,
question. Right?
They're all strange.
Yeah, but he said, but seriously. This is because he asked if he was drop dead sexy.
He is a sexy
Drop
dude.
dead sexy. So he said, but seriously,
Get in my belly.
I eat babies. All right, you fished all over the world. For sailfish, when the bite turns on, it seems to turn on up and down the line for the whole fleet. Does the same thing happen with blue marlin? Say guys are fishing similar, but not the exact same area. When they bite, do they bite all over? Does that make sense?
That makes absolute sense. And the answer to that question is yes. And if I can use an example, I'm not even going to use an example as easy as St. Thomas, where, everybody's kind of like, there's a scratch, scratching a pick. And then suddenly, boom, all over the 7 miles of the drop, everybody's catching. There's going to be one spot that's the best, but they're biting all over. But you know where it really happens is up north in the canyons, like the Northeast, the Mid-Atlantic. You fish the white marlin open. The worst thing you can do if you're sitting in Canyon A and you hear a bite going on in Canyon B is get up and run. Because, listen, you're going to be running during the bite.
It's a fluid situation.
Wait. It could be, it could be a 10-minute thing. It just takes an extra 10 minutes and then they're biting. And next thing you know, it's just that 1 hour, it goes across for everybody. No matter where you are, it goes off. So yes, it happens in blue marlin. It happens in white marlin.
Why do you think that is, though? Do you have a theory? Is it like feeding time?
Do you deer hunting?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I want to. I'm going to start doing that with Harris, but
so it's just like, you're sitting in the woods and you don't see anything. You don't see anything, and then suddenly, click, and the next thing you know, you see 20 deer. They're everywhere, and it's just you call it salooner table, you call it whatever you want.
Herd mentality.
Yeah, it's just it's a time. It's a time. I mean, us as humans, we've kind of gone away from. Now I'm going to go kind of biblical. I think we did that last year.
Biblical. It's a good thing. Biblical.
Well, and I hate to. It doesn't necessarily have to do with God.
Should we start singing Christmas carols?
Kumbaya, my Lord. Kumbaya.
Mark that for their commercial.
And that's a wrap. But we set our clock at lunch is at noon, dinner is at 6, but before we had clocks, you ate when you were hungry. And sometimes you're hungry at 2:00. Sometimes you're hungry at 6:00, and these animals don't know. So whatever it is that tells them,
right?
Is it salooner? Is it water movement? I don't know.
That'd be interesting if there's some way to concretely explain that. That'd be great to understand.
I know there's plenty of places that I've fished and guys swear by the majors and minors on the salooner table, and I don't knock it, not one bit. There's variations. When you get the best conditions, a nice north wind out here with a north going tide, and then the fish are just tailing all day long. Right. They're just expending energy, and they're gonna see something and eat it because they're expending energy.
Right.
I mean, it's basic adding and subtracting. I'm burning calories. I need to eat something.
Right.
So, and that's not scientific at all. It's just, adding. It is.
It's scientific. That's exactly scientific.
You're adding.
It's base science.
Yeah. You're burning calories. You need to eat something. So, it's so funny that there theories. I can talk theories about fishing all day long. One of the things that I've put on the table a lot up in Washington and to all kinds of fishermen. I was talking to Dr. Franks out of University of Southern Mississippi last week about fads. Fads are like these big giant craze over the last 10 years.
Right.
And my question, and I throw it out there, it's a double-edged sword, and I just want to know. And I use Dominican Republic as an example. So Mayaguez, Cabo Cana, traditionally, those blue marlins and white marlins would pass through the Mona Passage over the course of 10 days and 2 weeks and on their way towards Venezuela. And you'd have this great fishery for 2 weeks. Sometimes it might last for 4 in end of September, beginning of October. But if you look at the numbers right now, they're still catching them in Cabcana, where people are getting 15, 20 bites a day on blue marlin because they're around those fads. So my question is, those fads are getting those fish to stop their migratory pattern. And they're sitting on the fads. Now, 5 years from now, are we going to see that those fish missed being at a certain place at a certain time to spawn because of the fad? Or are these fish getting fat and healthy so that they might be a year behind, but now they're healthier so that when they do reproduce, we get a better stock?
Right.
I don't know.
Is Ellen doing any research on that?
I don't think anybody is yet. And the people, and listen, I talk to Peter twice a week. It's going to be, and I've brought it up to the scientists for NOAA, only because what's it doing for the migratory pattern? It could be a bonus. Like I said, like when you
is there a market? Do you know how many fads there are right now? Does anybody know that?
No, because a lot of them.
There are so many that are not known.
That's true. That's true. I mean, but that's what I'm saying. Like, is it at a point where there are so many that theory is going to hold a lot of water because there's so many of them?
I don't know, but it's a question I've been asking for maybe 2 years. Hey, we have a unique ability as humans. We try to do something for the good, but it has a downside that we don't know because of time. And like I said, it could be something very, very bad, but it could be something very, very good. In deer, one of the issues, if you have an early born deer that is at reproductive stage when the rut starts, they're kind of young to be having yearlings. Their body's just not ready. It's not like a 4-year-old deer doe where she's in great shape. Let's instead of using does, let's say humans. Your best reproductive years are between 20 and 30.
47.
No. Anything below 16, your body's not ready, and you're not ready. And anything over 35 or 40, there's problems that can start. And again, I'm not a doctor. That's why I'm being very
accurate.
I'm just trying to be very general here. So with that being said, with these fish that really shouldn't be reproducing, maybe, I don't know. I'm not a scientist. I'm just asking. But, if there's a fish that's only 8 months old and it's spending all of its energy trying to reproduce instead of trying to stay alive, this fad stops them. They're getting healthy because those fads are holding bait. That's why those fish are staying there. And with that being said, they're getting healthier. So when it comes time that they do need to spawn or travel to somewhere that may be hostile for them, whether it's bad current, bad water temperature, bad anything, we don't know. As fish get bigger, they can sustain more stuff, whether it's bad water temperature or stuff like that. It's
really interesting everything you're saying, and obviously there's no way for us to concretely tell any of this stuff, but the theories are there for sure, and they're solid, all of them. And it's also a man-made effect.
Exactly.
Right? So, but if you look at that, and then you look at our issues as a human race too, and all the man-made effects that we've had, you know what I mean? Is it just an evolutionary process at that point? Like, it's tough to say, like, will it be good or bad, or will it just be change?
Exactly. And we don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know. But it's one of those questions I like to ask because as it starts happening, then, it's on somebody's radar. Who knows? It could be 20 years before we see something.
Right.
And by that time, 20 years from now, I'll be 67 if I'm lucky. And, I'm striving every day to live that far and longer. And by that point, I might not be as hands-on with stuff going on. So I just want to put it on the table and look at it, you know?
This coffee makes me feel taller.
Dude. Well,
now I see why you drink it.
It's so funny. I tell everybody I'm 5'8", but I'm 6'4" when I talk.
It's exactly true.
Amen, brother.
Whatever this is kicking in. Right.
It's the upside down. It's the this is how you recharge Cuban batteries.
Jeez.
And it's so funny because you have it in the morning when you wake up, and then you can have one at 10 and you have one at 2.
Yeah.
But you only have one.
Okay.
Yeah, because if you're sitting on a boatload of people, you know, everybody has one little cup at 2:00. It's just that enough to.
I could see where this comes in very handy on a tournament day.
Oh my God, it's
right.
Oh,
lines in, brother.
Let's do it.
Yeah. So all right, we got to pick a winner of all of the questions.
Let me look at them really quick right now. I'm going to have to go with Captain Skip Dana.
All right. Good choice. Captain Skip Dana.
And just so he knows,
you get a t-shirt, Skip.
It's part B that he won.
Part B.
Yeah, part
Well, that got us on to a highly important conversation.
Yeah, part A was good, but it was part. Yeah, but part B is what won him.
All right. Cool. So, congratulations, Skip.
Congratulations, Skip.
You're a winner.
Skip, when can I go on another seminar with you?
There you go.
I can even do better. I can just put on a seminar and schedule it for Skip to talk with me.
You could.
Yeah.
You could. We could do that at the new store.
That's the kind of shit I do. Yeah.
Want to do it at the new store?
I'll do it.
Yeah.
People ask me, well, what about this? I'll just create it. What do you want to do?
Right.
I love building stuff.
That's the thing. It's like, you know, and that's kind of like our mindset too, is like, why are we going to sit around and wait for someone to do something? We'll just do it ourselves. You know what I mean?
You know what I haven't told you that I did during COVID? Oh, this is a great one. We're in beta testing right now. Hopefully by next week we'll launch it. I just created my own platform to compete with Facebook and Instagram.
Come on.
Yeah. We've been working on it for 10 months. We just
all fishing based?
No. It's all outdoor based. Mm-hmm. It's called Fly Zone Outdoors. Mm-hmm. Fly Zone fishing, Fly Zone hunting. It'll all lead back to that. But it's all outdoor based. But it's so funny because the timing couldn't have been better. In my terms and conditions, no politics. I'll kick you off.
Perfect.
So I built something for all my tournaments because everybody wants constant updates. I started building it so I can have my tournaments there, but I wanted it to be, let's say you're fishing with Captain Skip Dana, and your profile is linked to his boat. His is Surreal.
He's on the Friel, yeah, and the one by land. Both from my Heritage Sport 53 Sueños. Okay,
so I like the way you threw that plug in there. That was really. Did you see that? How fast that was? I'm like,
it's the coffee. It's the coffee.
It's the coffee.
It's like Ralphie when he was talking about the rider.
You'll shoot your eye out, kid. Oh, you know what? Now,
right for carbon expert.
I want a picture of him and Ralphie superimposed next to each other with the glasses. It's perfect. Write that note down.
Yeah. I'll do it.
Write that note down. Now I totally forgot my point. Oh, so
with Skip.
No, it's the platform. So you have Skip, and then you have everybody's name that's on that boat. Well, everybody has their own profile. Well, as they upload all the videos for me to do what I'm doing, it goes and sits on your profile. That's part of your resume. This is what I did that week. You don't even have to upload your own pictures if you don't want. It's, you know. So I've got this set up for fishing, hunting, biking, kayaking, snowboarding, anything outdoor based.
Ice fishing.
Ice fishing. Well, that'll fall under fishing.
Fishing.
That falls under fishing. Skeet shooting, anything outdoors. I wanted people people to step away from, number one, the politics. Number two, in the outdoor space, I didn't want people to have to compete with Kim and Khloe Kardashian for makeup. And listen, there's nothing wrong with that, but hey, when I jump on social media, I want to see what my friends are catching or hunting or what they're doing, and I want to give you a spot to do it. So that's what I did, and the great part is, you know, on the beta test, I started sending it out to the people I have all over the world, and hey man, this is great. It comes up in Japanese. It comes up in Arabic. So wherever you are in the world, it comes up in your language.
Is it available now? I mean, is it ready to roll, or you're just in beta testing, right?
So it's available now. If people go on just to the website, flyzoneoutdoors.com, the app should be available, I think, on Monday.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
At least that's what I was told. And
Right.
this is the one thing exciting that I didn't expect. Unlike Facebook, I'm going to have a 1-800 number 24/7. So if you got a problem,
I'll solve it.
Not me,
Right.
but I have a team. And I'm like, really? I get all that with it too? Damn
Right.
straight. So to host whatever, like Facebook won't let you post links of YouTube on there or outside websites.
Mm-hmm.
The algorithm squashes you. And I'm just the opposite. I'm like, no, I want people, if you have a website that you want to promote it.
Right.
If that's part of your business, promote it. I don't care. Facebook doesn't want you to leave their website. And I get it, because that's where they make money. Ad revenue. I look, and I don't want to throw anybody under the bus, but I see people that have to send people to their websites because of ad revenue, and they've got 200,000-300,000 followers, but because they're putting links on there, I'm watching them with 50 likes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, we notice that too. Even when we post up the YouTube episodes on Facebook,
So,
it doesn't get like a stronger reaction
Well,
that we would want. But I understand why.
Yeah, it's the algorithm, and I'm just the opposite. I listen. If you got a great YouTube channel, put it up there. I want to be the hub. I don't necessarily have to be the resource. I want to be the hub where you come, so you can find the best things. I don't. Again, it boils down to, I'm not doing it for the money. I'm doing it so people have an easier way to do things.
Yeah. And that's what I was talking about earlier too with our podcast. I just want to have a conversation with my friends. I'm doing this for the pure pleasure of it. I really am. Yeah, and then because I'm a painter first and foremost. So that's what I do. You know what I mean? But I also enjoy talking fishing and talking whatever, talking Florida.
Talking business. I love talking business.
Absolutely.
And for me,
business is fun to me.
Business. I was listening to Joe Rogan. I just got into listening to Joe Rogan and Kevin Hart, and they were talking about how Kevin Hart's really hit a stride. And he says, it's a game. And
it is.
And Joe Rogan says, if people really only understood that business is a game, it's a game. I look at it like fishing. I put something out. If it works, I put another one out. If it doesn't work, I pull that back. I try something new, and I love it. I treat anything I do business-wise like fishing, and I enjoy the shit out of it.
Yeah, art's a game too. I mean, art is our business, but it's a game too. I mean, if you at the end of the day, you want to get a response and a reaction from a fan base, right? And then so if your reaction isn't as strong, or then you're gonna evolve, or you're gonna press, and you're gonna or at least you should.
If you don't, and you see it where people don't change. Those it's economic Darwinism,
right?
You either adapt and change,
right?
Or you
and that's
off.
why we formed Connected by Water. To be honest with you, it's just because I didn't want to fall into that lane that everyone else falls into. We wanted to do something, take it from a different approach.
It's and here's the great thing about Connected by Water and the podcast. And social media in general is it's the best way of advertising anything.
Right.
My podcast has opened up more doors. And all I did it was just so I could talk to people.
Right.
I was going stir crazy in the house, and it opened up so many doors. Just people watching it or people jumping in there, and I don't see them because I do mine live, and because like you asked you put it on social media for people to ask the questions. I put it up there so people can ask them real time.
Yeah. And that was another reason why I think we're going to maybe do like a Facebook Live component to this.
Yeah, and it's
just
not,
so it's make it a little bit more
well,
interactive.
For you, it should be really easy because with him here, he can weed through and get the great questions and direct it. I'm doing the whole thing, so I always apologize to my people because my eyes are looking at the screen. I'm scrolling. I used to, when I first started it, because everybody was dying for content. I was on 15 Facebook pages. Everybody's like, man, can I stream your story? Can I stream your podcast? I'm like, go ahead. I don't care.
Yeah.
And then little by little, we started getting back to normal. And then I started, okay, let's streamline it down so I only have one page to answer questions from. And really it comes out to Facebook Live and YouTube Live. And then like my book signing, we did a virtual book signing. I was on Facebook Live for 7 hours and 49 minutes. But you know what the best part was? I gave away a book to comment number 100. And what that does is it pushes up your algorithm.
Right.
And if it wasn't for the fact that I was getting so tired, I was going to make another competition at number 500.
Right.
But I was just exhausted after 7 hours, 49 minutes.
I would imagine. So, what I was saying before was that's why we created Connected by Water, not just the podcast, but just as a company as a whole. I mean, so it's not just an art studio. It's not just a brand. You know what I mean? It's really like an umbrella of things to do within this space, all creatively based. You know what I mean? So there's no limit to it. You know what I mean?
There is no limit to it. And it's, listen, today's world, if you don't have a social media presence, you're going nowhere.
Right.
And I've talked to a couple of people that work for companies, and I'm like, listen, it's all great and dandy, but you got to create your own personal brand. Speaking of personal brands, I want to circle around on this because I took a picture and I posted it on. I had the great play, and they've been on your podcast twice, and I had such a good time with them on my podcast. Was the Gale Force twins.
Oh, Amanda and Emily, yeah.
So they were so great. I love what they're doing in our space, both social media wise and in the fishing space. That they're in my book. I asked them to be in my book, and I just love their story. What two awesome ambassadors for our sport.
Yeah, no, they're outstanding. I tell you, man, we talk about them on the show all the time, and they're part of our brand ambassadors, the CBW fleet, and we're proud to have them. But we met years ago in the Bahamas. They were working for Skip Smith.
Oh, really?
Right as they graduated UM. And I met them over there because I was the artist of the custom shootout. And I got, Skip fly me over and hang out. And then, so Skip's like, he's like, hey, as he does all the time, he's like, do you want me to get you on a marlin boat? I'm like, nah, not really. And I go, because the reason is these guys got their set teams. I'm not going to be fishing. I'm just going to be taking a boat ride, get my ass kicked all day for one fish, right?
Just to look at one fish.
To look at one fish. So I'll hang out, I'll party with all these guys, but during the day, I'm going to go fishing for bonefish on the other side of the island.
Perfect.
I'll be gone, right? But I got to hang out a lot with Amanda and Emily. And they were just kids right out of college. And I'm like, man, you guys are amazing. Come with me, right? And we got them all outfitted, and we got them dressed up, and we just started doing a lot of stuff together. And then during COVID, they had a lot of downtime, and they had their charter business, and it was a kind of a two-pronged thing for them, where number one, for two young girls to really run a charter business, it's tough to say no to half the clients that you want to bring out because they didn't maybe feel right for them. And you're in the middle of the ocean with these grown men.
I get it.
Tough situations sometimes. And they had a couple of circumstances where it's like, maybe we shouldn't be doing that, and then COVID happened, and then a lot of the charter business fell off anyway. So they, being type A, like they are, and if anyone who knows them knows what I'm talking about, just like, let's go full on into YouTube. And they did, and they're extremely successful, and they are extremely successful at it. They just completely blew up over the summer. So if you ask about it, if there's any, yesterday I had Zach Yarborough on. Right?
Okay, from Pelagic.
So, and he wanted to go through and tell his inspiring journey that he's having with cancer, right? And it was actually a very difficult podcast for me to do because you always want to be sensitive with that topic, especially when you're face to face with the person, right? And then broadcasting it out. So I haven't seen the video. I want to make sure that I was maybe measured in my words, or I did the guy right and everything like that. So I hope I did. But one of the main things that we talked about was like, taking the positives out of 2020. because everyone wants to just, shit on 2020.
2020 has been my best year yet.
We've been doing great, right? And there's a lot of the boating industry did phenomenal.
Unbelievable.
Right? My father-in-law, who's a scout dealer up in New Jersey, had like one of the best years on record that business has ever had, and they've been in business for over 40 years.
Like I told you earlier,
right?
We've added 13 million new fishermen.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So if you want to start extracting some positive things that came out of everyone being a little inconvenienced in their lives, let's look at some of the things that you were able to roll up your sleeves and get done.
Like I said, I've started 4 businesses.
Right.
I'm
now. I mean, we want to feel bad for our healthcare workers. Go for it. You know what I mean? And there's a list of teachers and mothers and parents and stuff like that.
Hold on a second. I have a hard time using the word feel bad. I don't feel bad. Show sympathy. Show them.
That's a better vernacular.
Yeah. Show them
you're right.
respect. But feel bad. You can't feel bad. This is life. It's a war. It's a whatever.
You're 1,000% right.
Yeah.
It's poor choice of words on my behalf. You're right. It's because life's full of choices, and that's what I always tell people.
Exactly.
If you're going to choose to be in that path, then you've chosen to be on that.
Yeah, path. And I don't mean it in a bad way, but it's like, hey, listen, I'm not feeling bad for you. I'm feeling strong for you. What you are doing is unbelievable.
Right.
You are putting yourself.
Let me rephrase it this way. If you want to say that certain career paths had a difficult year, right? Okay, fine. Because if you want to say 2020 was a difficult year, or 2020, but not for everybody.
Yeah.
Right. And if you look at the adaptability factor of what happened this year, there's a certain cream that rose to the top.
You know what? And that's normal. If you look at any,
I think this media bite that really chewed everybody down was really effective.
Oh, absolutely.
Really effective, because I don't think it was really all that. You know what I mean?
It's one of those things that if you look at every.
I know we're teetering that political line right now.
Yeah. And I'm trying not to look at it as a political thing. I'm looking at it as an overall thing. At every downturn, the people that adapt. Again, it's economic Darwinism. Are you familiar with MRSA? Do you know what MRSA is?
I do know what that is. What is that?
MRSA is a type of staph infection.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
All right.
Yep.
So I had MRSA once, and I remember the way my doctor talked to me about it. So just like most people, you see a little like a pimple, and next thing you know, it just blows up. And it was a Saturday. I didn't want to bother my doctor, so I just went to the local walk-in MD, and they're like, "Oh, here, you take some antibiotics, and you'll be good." And sure enough, after 2 or 3 days, it was looking better. And then suddenly, dear God, it just took on its own world. And then I called my doctor, and I says, "Man, I got a problem here." And I have a personal doctor from when I worked with Jim Lambert on the Real Tide. I still have him. He's been my doctor for 20 years. Same guy.
Cool.
I just, Jim used to pay for it back then. Now I have to pay for it, but it's great to have a personal doctor. So I knew after a couple of days, I'm like, man, this doesn't look right. Before I went to bed, I got a Sharpie and I drew a circle on it. And when I woke up in the morning, the red that was inside the circle is now outside the circle. So I'm like, hey, listen, I'm having an issue. Okay, so I said, I don't get it. I was on the antibiotics and it was making it better. He says, well, this is what happens is the antibiotics kills the regular staph. MRSA is antibiotic resistant staph. That's whatever MRSA stands for. And so after you kill all the regular staph, before MRSA and staph are fighting each other. And once it kills all the regular staph, it's like a free-for-all for MRSA. So now it explodes. And that's the same thing that happens at all these downturns. They get rid of these weak companies, weak businesses, and the companies that learn how to streamline and become more effective and more efficient end up exploding once that the competition is pushed out of the way. So, I'm sorry I went through a biological.
No, that's exactly right.
Making it make sense.
Look at 9/11, right? Because everyone wants to compare this to the last change of society, big major changes. At least I see it that way. This is 9/11, like where things changed a little bit, but some things didn't go back to the way they were.
Yeah.
So, well, I'm saying things are changing now.
Exactly.
And things are going to go back to the way they were, but not everything.
No, but you know what?
But because of the reason I think you're saying is because some things just got exposed to maybe society doesn't need that anymore.
But you know what? It happened also in 2007 when our economy took a shit.
Absolutely. Exactly.
You know, it's and I hate to use this word because it's become very popular politically, the reset button. It's change. It's like a cold front coming through.
Well, my big one that bothers the hell out of me is the new normal. Like, stop saying
I
that.
hate the new normal.
I can't stand that.
People are calling it the new normal. Listen, we're always changing. There is no normal.
Right.
There is no perfect. It's, you got to adapt, overcome. I mean, where you have certain companies, and I don't want to say that they're too big because some of the big ones, they adapt really well, but some of them that have a certain way of doing things, they can't adapt and change fast enough. Companies, like your size company where, this is happening. Let's make
agile.
Yeah. Look at the Gale Force twins. Hey, why don't, charters aren't going to be happening right now. Let's just, what is it? A day decision. Let's just go straight into, let's just focus more on YouTube. Poof. Right. It took off. If you can make those changes, it works.
Yeah, absolutely.
It works.
Absolutely. So, just to be looking at things, if you look at things the right way and not playing a victim.
That's the biggest thing, not playing the victim. That's why I said before, feeling bad. There's no feeling bad.
No, that's why I corrected myself. You're absolutely right for calling out on that. But,
there's no feeling bad.
But if you look at things for what they are and you try to adapt and you become agile and you say this is what it is and you look at things realistically and refuse to be a victim, then you'll win.
Exactly. And just don't be a victim.
Right.
That's just life. I mean,
and I think you'll win every time with that attitude.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. Are bad things happen? You know how many times I've failed at doing things? You can feel bad, but sometimes I do feel bad, and it'll last me, 3, 4, maybe 5 seconds, and then I move on. Right.
Well, that's kind of what we were saying earlier about how with the December thing and the feeling like the tension, you know what I mean? But, talking to you is therapeutic about it because it's it. You just got to really just water off the back, man.
When the book was getting ready to be published, everybody was freaking out. Oh, this and that. Oh, we got to get it to print. We got to get it to print. And I'm like, what happens if we get it there tomorrow? They're like, what do you mean? And I'm like,
well, we deal with that all the time with deadlines, right? And I know sometimes if it's a tournament, there's a different story because there's a timeline for it. But sometimes the deadline is just because someone said that date once.
Exactly.
And that's all it is.
So I did something this weekend that I've never done before. I took a booze cruise. I ran a boat. A buddy of mine, his cousin has a 45-foot Sea Ray. And they said that she could take out the boat if she can hire a captain. They volunteered me. And number one, I've never done a booze cruise, and I've never
really.
You know what? That's not true. I've done it before on a sport fish, but
I just find it with all the years that you've been a captain, I find that hard to believe.
I don't. It doesn't just sit in my brain where just somebody.
Well,
calls
not on
me,
a Sea Ray though.
Well, here I am on a 45 Sea Ray,
right? And
I'm like kind of hiding. I don't want nobody to see me, but it was so funny because I asked the lady, I'm like, so what time do you want to be back at the dock? And she says, well, I don't want to be out in the dark. I said, well, then we need to be back at the dock at 5 o'clock. Well, I know the sun sets at 5:28 because you can look at your app and you see exactly what time it sets. And then I know I also have 15 minutes, 30 minutes behind that. So I said, we got to be back at the dock at 5. So we go pick up her friends down in Clematis. We go from Jupiter down to Clematis, pick them up. We do a little tour, take them out to the ocean, go around Peanut Island. She's like, oh my God, we're having so much fun. Can we stay out an extra 30 minutes? And I'm like, you said you wanted to be back at dark. And she's like, yeah, but we're having so much fun. I'm like, all right, 30 more minutes, you got it. 30 more minutes put me right there at just the sunset. I had plenty of light, but again, the point I'm making is, if 5:30 is your deadline, that's not what you're shooting for.
Right.
You want to shoot for 5. And then that way, if you need to extend something or if problems happen, like even all my tournaments, like the World Cup, I file all my permits in January. That way, if something takes a while, if it takes 2 months, then I get them in March, which is still well ahead of time. What I don't ever want that the week of the tournament and then suddenly my artwork's not there.
Right.
Even when we talked about Casa de Campo, I reached out to you, was it November or October?
It was November, and I thought they were going in a different direction because we called back and we never heard back. I'm like, I guess they don't want to,
No, I don't.
Which is fine. I mean, sometimes it happens.
Yeah, usually I know what's happened because nothing ever happens without them checking with me. So I haven't heard nothing. And
we can get that turned around very quickly.
That's just a phone call.
Yeah.
But again, that's why I do, like, people always ask, how do you do 7 tournaments a year? Well, I do most of the legwork 6 months ahead of time.
Right.
Well,
that's a perfect example is this move that we're going through right now. Like, we want to be up and running in the new place by Jan 1.
Yeah.
But I know that I have all of January in this place paid for.
So you're gold. Yeah.
So that's my fallback. It's like, okay, I can move at our leisure. That's fine. You know what I mean? We don't have to be like, oh, we got to be out of here in 2 weeks and everything's got to get cleared out. And then that's a nightmare scenario that I don't want to have. And I got projects to do.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And even with the one project I don't have that luxury on is what we're working on here with the stuff I was talking about earlier is I'm the featured artist for the College Football National Championship game this year.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I have to paint this football helmet. But once the 2 teams are announced that are going to be in the final game, I got a boogie on both sides of that helmet. I'm going to do me down the middle, but if it's Clemson, Notre Dame, Alabama, whatever, like I got what is it, 10 days, I think, somewhere before when they announce it.
So I got a question for you, and it's strictly football and all the craziness that's going on. Is everything still on schedule, working good?
No.
Okay.
But yes.
Okay.
There have been some hiccups. There have been a few games that had to get played on a Wednesday or a Tuesday.
And the only reason why I asked is I had all of the fishing and boating concessions for the Super Bowl. We were going to have, I don't know, somewhere between 10 to 15 boats from inshore fishing all the way to big booze cruises up and down Tampa Bay. And it was all going to go through me. And now with the state of Florida, and we're lucky, but they're going to limit everything to 30%.
Right.
In the Super Bowl. So now all these companies are not doing any of their events.
That's where that's the part I think that they're really taking the biggest hit is in the advertising dollars. People are scaling back.
Everything.
Yeah. So you're finally going to get 30% of the product. You're only going to get 30% of the money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I get it. At that point, it's just business. But, where the Super Bowl is a week worth of parties and entertainment and all that.
And the Super Bowl's still going to happen.
Oh, it's definitely going to happen. It just, we're not.
Cowboys won't be there, but
I'm not worried about that. To be honest with you, I couldn't tell you. Yeah. I don't. And
Mike McCarthy's your coach now.
That I do know. But
right.
Didn't he have a problem? Wasn't there a problem where he wasn't at a game or something happened? I don't know.
I don't think so. Not with him, but they are committing to him for next year as well. So even though he had a crappy season,
my biggest thing, there is the one side of the whole football thing, but the other side is I'm busy.
Yeah.
I used to be able to sit and watch 9 hours of football. I don't have that time.
I don't really either. The one thing I do is I always carve out the time for my Dolphins. That 3 hours, I do. I know you don't like the Dolphins.
Here's the thing. You could have a giant empire by now if you put all that time wasted on the Dolphins.
No, half the times I work through it. To be honest with you, half the times I work through it, but I definitely do have the game on and I'm watching, and I'll be working from home. I'm drawing half the time. Yeah. You know what I mean? During a football game. But other than that, like to make sure I'm catching like the Monday night game and all, whatever. Even like last night, I was here till 9. someone's like, hey, did you catch the game? I'm like, well, we talked about this. I'm like, well, I caught the last 2 minutes. You know what I mean? That's the most important part of the game, actually.
I'll tell you what, the most I've watched of football is whatever highlights you see on social media.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no...
Did you see the Gators threw a shoe and lost the game?
Oh, I don't even know the full story.
He knows. So you're right. John can tell this story better than me.
Yeah, I didn't watch the game, but Florida stopped LSU at the end of the game. They had it sealed, and one of their players, he's from South Florida, Marco Wilson, takes one of the players' shoes, celebrates, just throws it down the field.
He in celebration, not in upset.
Yeah, like in celebration, and got a penalty, gave them an extra chance to win the game. They
put them in field goal position, and they won.
Yeah, idiot.
Pretty much. He's got his own Wikipedia now just for that incident.
I hope that he can work his way out so he's not like Bartman from the Cubs game. You know, the guy that...
Hey, UF was looking at possibly being in the college football playoff this year.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Not because of the shoe.
Oh. Could you imagine having to live with that?
I mean, for a Florida team, right? Florida, Miami, Florida State, you could talk about UCF. We used to dominate all of college football, the state of Florida. And maybe the last decade, not so much, maybe even more than that. So for a Florida team to be back in the conversation, the national conversation again, to be the first one back, right? UF would have been the first one back in, right? Miami's trying to get there. Florida State, we're way off, right? And UCF wants to claim their national title and anything like that. We can talk to Harris about that. My partner's a big UCF alum.
Listen, I would have loved to seen them in the national championship that 1 year. It would have answered the question.
I would have loved to. We want questions answered, right? So I would have loved to have seen it too. But for a Florida team to be back in the college football playoff would have been big, but not with the shoe.
Correct me if I'm wrong. That UCF year, they even beat Auburn in the bowl game. Yeah, handedly.
Who what?
The
UCF beat Auburn.
Yeah, the UCF the year that they were talking about, they were the co-national champions.
Yeah.
Rick Scott proclaimed them. He did.
Did he?
Yeah.
Whatever.
He signed some decree or something like that.
Call yourself whatever you want. I can tell everybody I'm 6'7", so go ahead, Fly, knock yourself.
Are you traveling anywhere this year?
For Christmas, I leave Thursday to go to Colorado.
Oh, okay.
Nice. I was supposed. No, I'm not going ski. I don't ski.
We talked about this last year.
Are you going on a hunt?
No, I'm going.
You just go with your girlfriend, right?
Yeah. So last year we went to Michigan. This year we had a week trip going to Patagonia in Argentina to go fly fishing, but Argentina's closed.
Yeah,
we can't fly. Yeah, I can't fly down there. So I called them up back in August. I'm like, hey, again, anybody in the charter industry, we always said, don't cancel, just postpone. So I postponed it till 2021. But I wanted it at the same week. I wanted it the week of Christmas and go down there to Patagonia. So for August, for our vacation in August, we had won a house in Carbondale, Colorado through CCA.
You won it?
Yeah, an auction.
The auction, yeah.
Yeah, one of the auctions. Yeah. So just so happens that one of her clients has a big old ranch out there. My girlfriend's an equine vet. So one of her clients that used to have a farm out here in Wellington has now just built a ranch out in the valley by Snowmass. So we fly into Aspen and we're staying at the ranch and
nice.
I'm jealous. That's awesome.
And it's so funny because
I love Colorado.
Everybody's like, "Oh, are you going to ski? Are you going to ski?" I'm not going to ski. Are you kidding me? I can't afford to take a week off if I twist something. Never mind break something.
Right.
Watch everybody else bust their ass out there.
And what I hear, most of the slopes are closed.
Really?
Well, because you can't get on these lifts.
On the lifts.
And the resorts themselves are definitely closed.
Yeah.
I actually saw Ken Clinton from the Intrepid. Ken Clinton was just out there. He just posted.
What a nice guy. I had him on my podcast.
Did you?
Oh my God, what a cool dude. What a great, really, really great guy. I follow him, or we're connected on LinkedIn, and there's always chats going on. But I saw him at the boat show, and Informa asked me to interview a bunch of manufacturers. I said, sure, not a problem. So I had him on the podcast. I had great numbers.
Nice.
And he's like, no, next time you're in Tampa, swing by. I had never been to Intrepid. So,
right.
But yeah, I had a great time with him. That's the most I've ever talked to him.
Yeah, that's cool. I don't know. My partner knows him because he's got Harris has a 48 Intrepid as one of his boats.
Okay.
And so he knows him through that. But I don't know. I just thought of that. I'm like, man, I just saw him skiing yesterday. Put some video up.
Who knows? We might be able to go skiing. They just had their first snowfall 2 days ago.
Did they?
Yeah. I just woke up this morning. My girlfriend says, we're going to Moab on Saturday. And I'm like, I'm thinking Moab is one of these Disney cartoons.
Right.
And I'm like, we can't go anywhere. We're going to be in Colorado.
Right.
She's like, oh, no. When you went to bed last night, her client said, oh, I'm flying you guys to Moab. We're going to go spend the day there.
You mean this Saturday?
Yeah, when I get to Colorado.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, she has her, she's a pilot. She has her own plane. And
I thought Moab was in California, wasn't it?
It's in Utah.
Utah, that's right. That's like a big, I think it's like a big, what do you call it, mountain bike place.
Yeah.
They do that. I don't know. A buddy of mine mountain bikes.
It's funny you talk about, I didn't know how big.
That's all I know of it.
I never knew how big mountain biking was, but now that, I got this platform for outdoor stuff, when I went to Colorado, one of my business partners on this event side of things, I said, hey, what do you know about mountain biking? He goes, I don't know nothing. I says, we're going to put on a mountain biking deal in Colorado. And he's like, what? And I'm like, dude, there's like tens of thousands of people here.
It's easy access sport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can't find bikes, anything else.
That's what makes marlin fish, this is what makes marlin fishing so tough to enhance across the platform because it's a very select group of people.
Very, very. So here's the numbers, and I don't want to bore you with numbers, but so our demographic as marlin fishermen is something like 350,000 in the United States. Yet we have 60 million fishermen. And it's so weird because people see all these big, giant, multi-million-dollar boats, and they're always like, oh.
Is that just people that have interest in marlin?
That's people that fish for marlin or sailfish. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 350,000.
Sailfish is included in that,
yeah,
too.
billfish.
Okay. I wonder what just the marlin number is.
Yeah, it's probably
be a lot less.
It's got to be even less than that.
Yeah.
But it's 365,000 is our demographic. And here's a neat one. Numbers that pop into my head. We've added 375,000 fishermen in the state of Florida. Minnesota.
Also, I'm catching peacocks.
Yeah. Minnesota added something like 327,000 new fishermen that are 16 to 17 years old alone.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great.
Nice.
Yeah. Those are the ones that are going to be fishermen. Yeah, even if you have a 50% attrition rate, that's 150,000 new fishermen. Yep. And then, in a few years, they're going to have kids and they're going to introduce them. So, I mean, you talk about, what COVID's done. It's introduced a lot new people.
Get outside.
Get outside.
Yeah.
Go. Socially distance.
That's kind of where I was getting at earlier with the millennial comment. And the reason why in this space, because they're outside. There's a difference between the millennials that get outside and the millennials that stay inside.
So here's the next generation after millennials is Gen Z. Gen Z, 80 to 85% believe they should have an outdoor activity. And now outdoor activity could be camping, biking, anything outdoors, but they're very outdoor focused.
Right.
Which is, great for anything in the outdoor realm. So I'm enjoying it.
Yeah,
again,
absolutely.
I spread my business into the outdoor world when I went with this platform. And originally it was just fishing.
Do you have a Samsung TV? I have a reason for asking this.
I don't know.
All right, so we got a Samsung TV, and with this TV comes this Samsung Plus television package.
Okay.
Where they give you like a base amount of channels just through the TV. Like if you have an internet connection, it gives you like Samsung TV, which is actually better than a base cable program, right? Well, one of the channels that they have on there is this Outside Plus. It's Outside, whatever. And it's whenever, because we don't have cable, we watch through Hulu Live and all that stuff like that, right? Just like everyone should at this point. But my kids just love just getting enamored by just that channel alone instead of all this Netflix and all those cartoons, because it takes you through all these different platforms and everything like that.
What's it called again?
It's called Outside. It's an Outside magazine.
Okay.
Basically has a channel, Outside Plus. I think you'd be interested in checking that out.
I'll look it up.
Yeah.
I'll look it up. My biggest thing is...
But it's television. It's not really a platform like you're talking about.
No, but listen, at the end of the day, that's... People still going to sit there and they want to be entertained. Mm-hmm. They want to be like Gladiator. Are you not entertained? It's one of my favorite lines. You do something.
I love that movie.
I
must have watched it 1,000 times.
When I was working on the Real Tight, I would go to 1 hour and I think it was 1 hour and 6 minutes, because back then, not every stateroom had its own DVD player, so I had to put it on upstairs. 1 hour and 6 minutes. Gave me the section that I wanted. I crawled into bed. I started watching. I usually sleep in 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. And that movie was, Are you not entertained?
You know Vince Versa from Liquid?
No.
Liquid Skill Set, whatever, like that own Liquid when Art was captain in Liquid. They said before tournaments every day that he would bring up the speech that Al Pacino said to the team in any given Sunday.
Oh my God,
like,
what a great...
Like before a tournament morning, like as they're like riding out, he would play that for them every time. They would just get them so jacked up.
It's a great... You fight for an inch, man.
Yeah.
Will you fight for that inch for the guy next to you?
Hooah! Whatever.
No, that was Scent of a Woman. If I was half the man I was 5 years ago, I'd set a flamethrower to this place.
So you're going to Colorado.
I'm going to Colorado, then I come back Christmas Day. Mm-hmm. And then from there, I fish the Silver Sailfish Derby. Then I go to bison hunting. Mm-hmm. Then I'm going to do this ice fishing tournament. I haven't...
When is that trip?
I fly out June 10th.
June?
I mean, January 10th. It's a J. It's one of them
I
J
think
months.
this coffee is affecting you more than me.
I'm better now. When right after I had the 2 shots, I was like so focused.
Yeah.
Now it's...
I've subsided a little bit.
I don't drink as...
I'm done peaking.
I don't drink as much of it. I drink this every day, but I don't drink as much of that because I'm not fishing every day. When I was fishing every day, I drink a pot every day.
That's so good.
It's delicious. There's still a little bit more. You want it?
Do you want it?
I can't.
See, I'm not going to do it then.
Okay.
John? Really?
If you're going to do it...
Physical challenge.
Listen,
man, really? Did you just...
I may be 47.
I should have just kept my mouth shut.
Yeah, you should have. Big mouth.
John?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you
Let's
go.
fill us.
John's all about it. John's like, I just spent like...
The only thing is it's cold
28
right now.
hours
That's
straight
okay.
filming. All right, so this is going to be the one that's going to bring us home. I have to coach a girls' basketball game tonight.
Don't worry.
Sienna's playing basketball, and she talked me into being the coach.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on a second. We might as well do a shot of it
No.
because it's cold.
I'm gonna spill it.
I'm going to sip it.
No, I'm just trying to make it.
You're more a man than me, Fly.
Oh,
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
And you did it too. I'm going to sip that.
Sip it. It's
Finally.
just cold.
I like the taste of it.
It
That's what I'm
tastes
saying.
phenomenal. That's the only
I
coffee
want to enjoy
drink.
it. I don't want it to, you know what I mean? It's fleeting if I just do a shot.
Listen, you have the pot now for here on out.
that's gonna stay right here.
So, all right. Well, I kind of failed to really pay attention when you were making that. So I'll have to figure out how to.
Here, this is what you do. It's like anything else. When you break it apart, just see how it's all set up. It's really simple. It's water. There's a little canister in there. You pack. Now you got to pack the coffee in there real tight.
Yeah, you got to pack it in.
You know how to do it?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
That you're set. And then up here, you just rinse that stuff out. You don't ever scrub any of that.
Okay.
So every like 2 or 3 months, you might want to get a paper towel and wipe it because it'll leave a coffee residue.
All right. I appreciate that.
No. Merry Christmas.
Dude,
when
awesome.
you told me you wanted Cuban coffee, I'm like,
Yeah,
oh, this is great.
for sure. I mean, you told that story about how you take it with you everywhere you go.
I do.
And I'm like,
and I haven't been going nowhere.
yeah.
That's the crazy part. I haven't gone crazy yet. Or wait a second, I'm the crazy Cuban. I'm fucking nuts.
You're the crazy Cuban. Cool. Anything you want to plug here before we kind of sign off?
No,
I know you got to take off soon.
I'm gonna have to take off. I plug my book. I plug my platform. I'm good.
All right, so I want to just say this before we sign off and ride off into the sunset here, right? Is let's take the good from 2020. Let's recap this by saying that, right?
Absolutely.
And say life is positive moving forward. We're not going to put a mark on the year. Time is time. You want to number it with a number and put 2021 or 2020 on these things. You can do that all you want, but the bottom line is just be positive, move forward.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And just be happy and love everybody. And
listen, at the beginning of this year, I would have never thought I was going to be a published author. I'm a published author, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah.
That's the weirdest thing. I can barely speak English. I know I sure as hell can't write the shit. You know, and we were going to try to do it for 2021, and it's like, wait a second, this year needs something positive.
Yep.
Yes, it does.
So that's why we decided to do it. We put together the whole thing in 6 weeks.
Wow.
Really good.
Yeah,
Nice.
It was unbelievable.
Nice.
It was unbelievable.
I have to check it out. I'm going to buy it today.
Okay. I'll drive back down and sign it for you.
That'd be wonderful.
I don't mind. It's only, if I don't miss the exit, it's only 50 minutes.
Well, by then we'll be
Okay, yeah.
we'll be at the Fisher Price version
that's
of how to
perfect.
get to places.
Fisher Price.
95 Atlantic Beach.
The only problem
That's
I had
what we'll
with,
be.
the only problem I had with this was last year it sent me to a Panera's Bread, so I was worried. I'm like,
And I still don't understand how that happened.
I don't
either.
know. So and because I was running late today, I made sure I got rid of the Sweet 105 just to make sure it didn't send me to Panera. But I went. Hey, make sure you get your $25
This
from
is
Panera
15. Panera's on 19. You probably put in 1919.
I copied and I'm not that smart to plug it in. I just copy and paste it.
All right.
I'm not that smart.
Dennis, he messed it up last time.
It's possible.
Listen,
It's possible.
I had plenty of time. Listen, if it wasn't for the fact that I have a meeting, I'd sit here and talk for another hour.
That's the thing. I mean, you know,
I'm kind of bummed about it. I didn't really get a choice on this. You know, not on your side.
there's
on the
always
other
next
side.
Christmas.
Yeah, well, we don't have to wait till Christmas.
We don't have to wait till Christmas.
I'll tell you what. If the meeting goes well, I'll do another one,
What?
another podcast.
Okay.
I'll break the news.
Okay. You can't break it now.
Nope.
It's not final. So
Not on the podcast.
yeah. All right. Whatever. Dude, bring me on your show.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
we'd do
whatever.
that. I just my podcast. I got to do a couple edits to it. It just got syndicated.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So, I got to clean it up because usually I just put it out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, I got a couple little edits to do.
Cool.
And yeah, it's going to go on.
Congrats. It's
another
nice to
platform.
see all that evolving, you know what I mean?
You know,
and
and
ours
it's-
too. I mean,
you
it's,
know,
it's nice that we got Pilar on board as a sponsor this year. I mean, and you know, we're really excited about that.
I've had a couple people ask
Yeah.
about sponsoring, and I'm like, okay, just give me a script. And nobody gives me a script, so I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk anyway.
Well, we don't really do like per episode sponsors.
Yeah,
and
it's
things
just
like that.
It's just a flat.
It's just basically we got Joey Cardi as the presenting, Pilar is the fueled by, and that's it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? We get approached. I get approached all the time, like, hey, can I do this, do that? And we're like, well, I don't want this thing to be like a NASCAR ad or a NASCAR. You know, and just like with a bunch of like, you know.
No, I think this is cool.
But-
I like the kids' shoes.
Those are Dennis's shoes.
Are they really?
See, John, I noticed how I just looked right at him.
You know, it's funny because if, you know, I got to eat better, but if I eat better, maybe my feet will grow and I can fit into those.
So everyone makes fun of me about these things. Oh, Dennis has left his shoes on the table. But you know what these shoes are? So, and I've told this on the podcast many times. I'm going to tell it again because it is a meaningful thing. My son was born 2 months premature. So it was a while before he could actually just simply wear shoes.
Okay.
So those are his first shoes.
Oh,
So
that's
when he
cool.
was finally able to wear shoes, it was a big moment for us. And then when he outgrew them, I just didn't have the heart to part with them.
No,
so they're there. They stay right there on the table as a constant reminder about that.
I love that patch.
You know, when he was in the NICU for 37 days.
Ugh.
Yeah. And I mean,
probably
he was
the
always
longest
healthy.
37 days of your life.
No doubt about it. We were doing 2 shifts, my wife there, and then me at the work, and then after work, I'd go there every night, 37 days straight. The NICU nurses are angels sent from heaven. There's no doubt about it. Best nurses on the planet work in the NICU. Biggest hearts in the world. And I mean, that's a special breed to do that job. And that was a big deal, you know, to get those shoes here on the table. And that was really the first thing that went on the table when we started kind of laying this room out. And I mean, I always think of that, you know, that's, you know, when you want to put things into perspective, you know, everyone goes through
tough times.
Trials and tough times, you know, and this is kind of the message that maybe we can send off to people today is, you're going to go through tough times. It's going to happen. That's life. How you handle it.
Exactly.
Is what matters.
Listen, life is like is a roller coaster.
Mm-hmm.
You have the downs so you can enjoy the ups that much better.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Right.
Right.
Without the downs, the ups wouldn't mean anything.
It's funny, and not to dwell on past, but years ago I dated somebody that literally would always get mad at me because I wouldn't deal with, or I wouldn't dwell on negative stuff. Okay, let's move on. Mm-hmm. Oh, everything has to be positive. No, I'm just not going to dwell on it.
Right.
Okay, yeah, shit happens. Move on.
Yeah.
Go back to football. The person that has to have the shortest memory is a cornerback.
Yeah.
Because you're going to get burned.
Yep.
Right.
You're going to get burned. And when you do get burned, you got to forget about it and go right back out there and cover that guy again.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So, all right, have a short memory. Oh, you got me now.
Right.
Stand back. You know? That's the way I look at it.
That's true. That's good. You know, the Miami Dolphins have a defensive back. His name is Xavier Howard. I call him X25.
Uh-huh.
Right? And to me, he's just the baddest defensive back in all of football. And he leads the league in interceptions.
Yeah, he might be the best corner in the league right now.
Yeah, I think he is.
Wow.
And like hands down. And then we played Kansas City this past week, which obviously it's the best team in football. And there was one play where I thought he could have done a better job covering, what's the tight end?
Kelsey.
Travis Kelsey, where he kind of slept for a second and he threw a touchdown to him like that. And that's a perfect example. You could have hung your hat on that and go, no, this is the best team in the league. Oh, you know what I mean? I slept on that play and they capitalized on it and all stuff like that. Dude follows up with the most incredible interception I've ever seen him make one-handed.
That's how you
like a quarter later. You know what I mean? So that's what you got to do.
You talk about Kansas City, last year's Super Bowl, Kansas City, San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
I got a chance to watch it at, let's see if I can get the name right, Tamori Army Base in Okinawa, Japan on Monday morning at 7 a.m. It was awesome. Watching a Super Bowl game at an Army base, it was... I'm getting chills just thinking about it. When they do this, the national anthem,
right,
in an Army base.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Eating breakfast.
Yeah.
It was so cool.
Mm-hmm.
It was so cool.
Nice.
It really, to hang out with all the guys and gals in the Army base, to watch it, it was great. You're
leaving me wired.
Yeah, I know, me too. Woo! That's a different name of a podcast.
Yeah, right.
You're leaving me wired.
You're leaving me wired.
Or you got me wired.
Lots to be thankful for this year.
Every year.
Focus on that, right? Every year, all the time. Focus on the positive. Exactly. So, and I'm thankful for you.
I'm thankful for you inviting me here, and we can we can sketch it for next year, December 13th, more or less.
Yep.
We should make it 13th, being that you're a Dolphin fan. That should be a special number for you.
Yeah, should be.
Are you not a Dan Marino fan?
I'm a big Dan Marino fan. I just wish he would have a Super Bowl victory under his belt, but whatever.
I got some great Dan Marino stories.
Yeah,
so
really. We'll
talk about those
it
next time.
All right, cool. If you're in the market for a truck or vehicle, go see our pals at Joey Cardi Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Talk to my buddy Dean. He's going to hook you up. They got a lot of good end of year specials going on right now.
You're my boy, Dean.
You're my boy, Dean. Right? My wife and I are going to go pick up a brand new Cherokee next week.
Congratulations.
As a
Christmas present?
no, she knows it's coming, but yes.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe I can. I don't know.
Give
I
a
don't think
big
she's
bow.
going. She needs a car anyway because we got one vehicle right now because we turned in our old lease. So it's not really a present. She's kind of like, I better get a car and a present. So that's where we're at with that. So if you're hungry, go to Papa's Raw Bar. Take a selection off of the Connected by Water inspired sushi menu that they have there.
I hear they're pretty good.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
That's down in Pompano, right? Or Deerfield?
Lighthouse Point.
Okay.
Yeah, right in between. And it's right there, just in between 10th or in between Sample and 10th, I think.
That's all the same area to me.
Right. And then, and never be a spectator. Enjoy some Papa's Pilar this holiday season. Right. I want to wish everyone out there a happy Hanukkah and a Merry Christmas. Right. And we got one more Christmas special coming up next week with Bombshell. And we're going to do drunken prank calls.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm going to have her call people and say, hey, it's Bombshell, Merry Christmas, and then hang up on them. And then we're going to get drunk on eggnog and do that, I think.
Lucky bastard.
Yeah. So, and that's it. So
FFMD. Want to plug them real quick?
the FFMD. Oh, my goodness. I can't believe I didn't do that at the beginning of this episode.
Those are great guys, too.
We've been plugging this at the beginning of every episode. This is it. This is the final push that we're going to do here for the FFMD. They want to sell as many raffle tickets as possible. They were very close to reaching their goal. I talked to Paul Robertson on the phone last week about it. So please.
When's the end date for their raffle?
I think it's just like the 28th or like a couple of days
I think
before
the
the end.
The 28th, a couple days before the end of the year?
Yeah.
Or because that's definitely not a couple days before Christmas.
Yeah, a couple days before the end of the year.
Yeah.
Okay.
29th, I believe.
The 29th, yeah. So it's just before. Listen, all the money they raise in that organization goes right to the kids' camp.
That's awesome.
All of it, 100%. So if you want to know what's going on with that, at this point, everyone should know the reputation that this organization have.
They're
It's like
great.
second to none. And please go out and support them. So, cool. Is it the 29th?
I'm trying
John's
to
looking
find.
up. So you'll flash
So
it.
we
up
got.
You should have known that by now.
I should have known. Yeah, 29th.
the 29th. He knew. See, 29th.
It just took him too long.
It's all right. It's
I had to
okay.
confirm.
You're like Joe the
He had
producer.
wired thumbs. So, all right, cool. All right, Fly, thank you very much.
Dennis, thank you.
Right on. Merry Christmas.
Same to you, brother.
Your ego is not your amigo. Always do your best. Let God do the rest.
Amen. Say hi to Joanna and Liz for me.
I will, definitely. No matter where we are, no matter what we're doing, do not forget that we are always connected by water.
Amen.